Welcome back to the channel, everybody. You're watching BroTuned. My name's Ryan. And today I have a special video for you. So what we're gonna do today is, we're gonna do a terminal ballistics test with chronograph of all the different pellets that I own at the moment. This here is what we're gonna be using today. So we have the Ruger Airhawk 177 brake barrel. I tuned it so it's a little bit faster than it was stock. And these are the pellets. The way I plan on doing this is, we're gonna shoot 1 pound blocks of modeling clay. I have 4 of those blocks, and we're gonna check the terminal ballistics and the velocity of impact with a bunch of different weight pellets. Let's see what happens. First pellet up for this test is going to be the pointed Crosman pellet, hunting pellet, 0.177, and it weighs 7.3 grains. There's the impact from the pointed pellet. Let's cut this block open and see the depth and the terminal ballistics, see what the pellet did. So first shot went through the whole first one and stopped right in the face of the second one. So I'll dig that pellet out, we'll have a look at it, and then we'll measure the wound channel, see how deep it went. This is the pointed pellet compared to a new pointed pellet. So it didn't mushroom up too bad, just a little bit. Mostly just did some good hard penetration, reeled nice and deep. Hurt the tip a little bit, that's about it. Now let's measure this. And as far as depth goes, so we're 1 3/4 inch and 45 millimeters. Next pellet up, the H&N Rabbit Magnum 2. So it's saying that it's a 15.74 grain pellet. My scale is showing 16 grains. Now let's shoot it at the modeling clay, see what the velocities are and the impact damage. H&M Rabbit Magnum 2. We fired that at 387 feet per second. It's a 16 grain pellet, and we basically have the exact same results. It might have gone 1/8 of an inch, a little bit deeper than the last one, the pointed pellet. But let's take it out and see what it looks like. Basically no damage at all to it. You can just see the rifling marks a little bit on it there. Penetration depth for the Rabbit Magnum is 49 millimeters or 1 7/8 inches. Next up, we have the Gamo Red Fire pellet at a weight of 8.1 grains. So I took 3 shots with the Gamo Red Fire. One there, and one down there. Didn't get a velocity for any of these, so I'm gonna just shoot one over the Crony separately and just see what we get. But the low one, there's the tip. She broke off, so, and it went into the Crony box. Hopefully it didn't destroy my sunshades. But here we have 2 more pellets, so I will cut this thing open and we'll see what the terminal damage is. So the Red Fire pellet really opens up. And see the depth here we got. So basically we stopped around there, right at 1 inch or 25.5 millimeters. So the Red Fire went only 1 inch deep, but it expanded to 7 millimeters or just over 1/4 inch from a 177. So that's pretty crazy. And there you can see the wound channel. Basically, it was stopped right here. And those are 2 pellets I recovered. So just huge expansion. The one in the center of the frame right now is actually bigger than this one, but that's the one I recovered, so that's the one we're going by. There's another one, the side cut of it. So basically the same result, about 1 inch deep, and it's nicely mushroomed. So the tip stuck on the other side, but yeah, so there we go. That's results for the red fire. So that'd be a super awesome hunting pellet because it drops all its energy. It expands huge right away. Pretty cool. Next pellet in the test is going to be the Crosman Fast Flight at 5.9 grains. And this thing is pretty cool. It's almost like a slap round. So basically a sabot and a metal core, a little penetrator core. So let's see what kind of damage this thing does. This has kind of got me wondering because most of it just made it through the 1 pound of modeling clay. So will this go farther and drop its little red plastic thing? Let's find out. All right, another failed crony, but I hit low too, so the little red thing stripped off, and this went about 1 block, about 1.5 inches. I'm gonna do another shot and see if we can get better results. I had a feeling this one would be pretty cool. So there's the entrance, and it dropped its sabot and penetrated through the first one completely. There's the second one. Not sure how deep it went, so I'm gonna cut it and we'll see what the channel on this one looks like and this one as well. Okay, here's the cutaway of the clay from the Fast Flight. So it went in here, stopped here, dropped the sabot here. So this is the opposite. This is just a mirrored image. So dropped it, kept going, and then stopped right there. Pretty cool. Let's measure the depth. So there we have it, 55 millimeters of penetration. Pellet number 5 is the Crosman Gold Flight 177. Advertised weight of 8.5 grains, lead free. And these are advertised for increased penetration. Let's see if their claim is true. The Gold Flight actually weighs 8 grains according to my scale. 620.8. To my surprise, it didn't go through 2. It's in the first one, and it left this tiny little dent right here. So let's cut this open, retrieve the pellet, and check the wound channel out. The Gold Flight Deep Penetrator didn't go through the first one. It stopped before making its exit point, but you can see the very, very tip was right on the edge. So I pulled it out, and it almost looks like you could reshoot this thing because there's nothing wrong with it at all. Like you can't even see, there's not even any rifling marks in it. So, but yeah, basically no expansion, just a regular straight channel. It opened up a bit here when I cut it, but it was basically just a straight like pipe. Next up, we have the Gamo Rocket, and this is advertised for superior accuracy and penetration. 177 caliber, 9.6 grains. That's what it looks like. On my scale, 9.4 grains. Let's see how it does. So the Gamo Rocket didn't penetrate through more than 1. It didn't make it through 1. So let's cut it and check this wound channel. So that's what the wound channel looks like for the Gamo Rocket. And penetration of about 35 millimeters, or 1 3/8 of an inch deep. Not quite full penetration. there we have it. Number 7, we have the Crosman Destroyer EX. There's no advertised weight, but it's weighing out 6.9 grains. And it's basically a pointed hollow point. Let's see what it does. Crosman Destroyer EX, 670.6 feet per second. The Destroyer EX did not penetrate one full block of clay. It almost did, it's down in there. I'll cut the block open, let's check out the wound cavity and recover the pellet. This pellet also looks like it would be a good hunting pellet. It basically turned into a big pointed pellet. The shoulder or the hollow point opened up and folded back over the skirts. And we got 34 millimeters of penetration, or 1 5/16 of an inch. It didn't make it through the first one, and that's the wound channel. So pretty clean wound channel, but it definitely expanded a lot bigger than its original size. So here we have it. It opened up to 5.5 millimeters, which equals 22 caliber. So you went up a caliber when you hit something with this one. Number 8 on our list, the Crosman Premier Hollow Point. Also advertised as a hunting pellet, weighing in at 8.1 grains. It's not marked on the tin, and it's just a round nose with a little divot making it a hollow point. Let's see its terminal ballistics. 647.4. That's the entry hole from the hollow point. Crosman Premier. Just a big bulge on the backside. Did make it through. Let's operate and find the pellet. Here's the hollow point's wound channel. It kind of got crushed in when I cut it a bit. Basically, it was just a straight path, very slight conical right to the end. So it stopped right at the very end. You can see right there, that's where it stopped. It opened up quite large. It almost looks like the back of a normal pellet. So yeah, there we have it. I'll measure the wound depth and the width of the pellet. The pellet's measuring 5 millimeters, so we gained 0.5 millimeter of expansion. And it penetrated 35 millimeters, or 1 3/8 of an inch. Pellet number 9 on our list is the H&N Silver Point. Its advertised weight of 11.57 grains, measured weight 11.3 grains. Let's see what this one does. 519.3. Okay, so I moved the first block, but we kind of hit it on one of those sliced points, so it might have screwed the results up a bit. But it kind of just barely poked into that one and then fell down there. So let's take a look at it anyways. I think the results for this one are a little bit skewered because it kind of hit right down a spot that I already cut. And the first like 1/4 inch or so, there wasn't much there to stop it. But then there's the rest of the wound channel and it exited. Here we have a new pellet on the right, and on the left we have the shot pellet that I retrieved. And there's not much of a difference there. Crushed down a tiny little bit and the skirt flared open. So that's the result. I'll shoot another one to see if we can get a different result. 500.5. Okay, so the results are full pass through on the first one, stopped sticking out on the second one, as you can see there. Velocities were 520 and 500 on the second shot. Penetration on this was 1 7/8 of an inch, or 47 millimeters. So it went through one block and just stopped on the second. Number 10 on the list is the Gamo TS10 long distance competition. So this is a target competition pellet, .177 caliber, advertised weight of 10.49 grains. I'm getting a measured weight of 10.8 grains. And it's just a pointed pellet. Let's see how it does on the modeling clay. .588.4. The Gamo TS10, we got full penetration, full pass through on the first one. On the second one, it's in there about halfway down, and it's right on a cut, so it'll be easy to find. So far, we have our highest penetration pellet, 62 millimeters deep, or 2 7/16 of an inch. And there's the pellet there. This is the back side of it we're looking in. The pellet's in pretty good shape. Just see a little bit of rifling on it. Not too much of any damage to speak of whatsoever. But this one so far was our deepest penetrating pellet out of the test so far. Number 11 on our test, the RWS Superdome. Advertised weight of 8.3 grains. 8.3 grains measured weight. Let's see what this one will do. .671.5. The Superdome passed through one completely. That's the hole right there. There's the pellet. So it's slightly sticking out. See if we can free it up. There's the pellet. Tiny bit smushed down. Not too bad. Pretty good shape. But it went through one and stuck in the second. Penetration depth for the RWS Superdome, 1 15/16 or 49 millimeters. Last but not least for today's test, the Stoeger X-Speed Precision Pellet. And it's advertised 5.56 grains. Actual weight, 5.7 grains. And this is a lead-free pellet, nice and light, so it should go pretty fast. Maybe 25% faster. Let's find out. .859.8. The Stoeger X-Speed made it through one, stopped barely on the surface of the other one, just barely below the surface, I mean. And it looks like we'll have to dig it out and have a look at it. Here we have the Stoeger X-Speed recovered pellet. And it looks in pretty much pristine condition, just the shininess is off the front of it. And it penetrated 50 millimeters, or a curly one under 2 inches, basically. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our test for today. Thanks for spending some time with me and doing this quick little scientific experiment. Up here in Canada, it's snowing outside. It's November the 15th today, and guess what? It's too cold to go do this outside. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed my video. I have new videos every Sunday at 7. So hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell, then you'll know on Sunday at 7 when I post my video. And you could be the first one to watch it, first one to get the thumbs up. And check you later, check you next time. Thanks, guys.